Hello everyone, welcome back to the Holistic Hustle, and today I'm going to show you how to carry out effective keyword research using Semrush, which is in my opinion the best SEO tool out there. Although Semrush is a paid tool which costs around $100 a month, I've added a link for a free 7-day trial to Semrush in the video's description, so you can carry out your keyword research and then cancel the subscription before the 7 days are up if you don't want to carry on using it. For those that don't know, Semrush can help you with optimizing your website and essentially ranking your website higher up on Google. Some of its features include keyword research, competitor analysis, keyword tracking, SEO audits, and loads more. Finally, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, then click that subscribe button and the following bell button to stay up to date with my latest videos. If you like the video, then click that like button. But most importantly, if you have any questions, then drop them in the comment section below and I'll get answering as soon as I can. All of that being said, let's head over to Semrush and get started. So if you're starting your keyword research for a new domain or website or business and you want to start identifying new keywords, then this is the perfect tool. So firstly, I'm going to type in the keyword dry herb vaporizer, as that's the one I know and one of the most popular. If you press search here, you should be able to see a whole bunch of details. You should see all of the analytics of that particular keyword, dry herb vaporizer. So starting from the top left, you can see the volume of our keyword, which is 4,400 in the UK. And that is essentially the number of times it's typed into Google on a monthly basis. Just underneath that, you can see the keyword difficulty, which is a percentage score out of 100, 100% being the most difficult to rank for. This essentially gives you an indication of how hard it is to rank for that particular keyword on Google. If the keyword difficulty, also referred to as KD in some cases, is 1%, then you'll find it very easy to rank at the top of Google quite quickly without having to do too much SEO work. This doesn't mean that you can't rank for a keyword which has a high keyword difficulty, but it will be harder, meaning you'll need better on-page content, more backlinks linking to the page you're trying to rank, and a higher domain authority score, which we'll cover in a bit. The keyword difficulty is determined by the level of competition also trying to rank for that keyword. If we scroll down here, we can see the top 10 sites ranking for this keyword. And we can see here we've got Nectar Medical Vapes in position 5. You can see along this backlinks column here that the top 10 websites ranking for this keyword have between 1 and 472 backlinks going to those pages, meaning we should need roughly the same to rank. And I know that's quite a big difference, but don't let the website with 1 backlink fool you. As you can see, it's eBay. eBay is a massive site with a very high domain authority, so Google essentially allows them to rank a lot higher than most other websites with just 1 backlink. Going back to the top of the page, we can also see some suggestions by Semrush in order to rank for this keyword. So here it says a competitive keyword to rank for, you will need well-structured and unique content. So this isn't necessarily saying you need any number of backlinks to actually compete for this keyword. It's just saying you'll need content. When you're doing your keyword research, I would stick to trying to rank for keywords with a keyword difficulty of 30% or less and a volume in your target country of at least 200. This will also depend on your budget. Of course, if you have bundles of cash to spend on marketing, then you'll have a higher chance of ranking for a keyword with a higher keyword difficulty. Moving over to the right, we can see the global volume, which is 37,700. And then you can see how that's broken down between the 6 most popular countries and then all the other countries accumulated into this other total bar down here. So this says that the US accounts for 27,100 searches. The UK is 4,400 searches, which is here. If you change the target country up here, it should correlate with this chart. So if we change that to the United States, we can see that the volume updates to 27,100. You will also notice that the keyword difficulty has increased a fair bit. So that's gone from possible with well-structured and unique content to difficult. You will need to have 72 referring domains and optimized content to even compete for the top 10 search results. Over here, you can see the keyword is marked within the commercial intent category. And that says the user wants to investigate brands or services. So that basically shows you what the intent is of the person searching for this keyword. There are 4 intent categories, which are informational keywords, ones where a user is looking for information, navigational keywords, which are searches intended to find a specific site or page, commercial intent, which we've just covered, and transactional intent, which are keywords intended to complete an action or purchase. If you're ranking your website for the wrong intentions, then you'll notice customers visiting your site and leaving straight away. You might be thinking, why is this intent important? Well, in summary, if you're ranking your website for the wrong type of intention, then you'll notice customers will be visiting your site and leaving straight away. Hence, your bounce rate will increase, having a negative impact on your SEO. The trend bar down here shows the performance of the keyword in comparison to the past 12 months. So we can see this particular keyword was quite popular 3 to 4 months ago. I wouldn't pay too much attention to the trends bar unless you see a significant and consistent drop, but don't let fluctuations like this put you off. You might be able to use this trend bar to identify whether keywords or your products are seasonal or not. This results number here shows you how many URLs show up in organic search results for the target keyword, and the SERP features here show you which SERP features appear in Google for the target keyword. So here we have site links, FAQs, videos, and images. So this will give you an indication of what those top ranking websites are presenting to Google, which can essentially be boosting their rankings. So this shows you what you could also be doing to get those boosted rankings. We also have a bar here which shows us some of the PPC data. For example, we have the average cost per click. We have the competition level out of 1, 1 being the highest, the number of top product listings which show up for that keyword, and the number of ads which show up for that keyword. In this example, they're all set to 0 because Google doesn't actually allow advertisers to carry out PPC for vaporizers or related keywords. Lower down, we can see some of the keyword data. So here we can see there are 2,700 keyword variations for that particular keyword in the UK and 9,400 global keyword variations across all of these countries. So we'll be able to investigate some of these keywords in a minute and potentially add them to our position tracking. You can also see a bunch of questions related to that keyword. If you're thinking, how can you use these keywords? There's a couple of ways. The questions can come in handy by adding them and their corresponding answers which you'll come up with to your FAQs. This will increase your chances of appearing on Google Knowledge Panel or the People Also Ask sections on Google. You can also use all of these questions as ideas for articles. Google have recently updated their algorithm to prioritize how-to blogs, which are essentially blogs that answer how-to questions such as how to use a dry herb vaporizer. So you can use this section to see exactly what your customers are asking in order for you to answer their questions via articles, which are great for bringing traffic to blogs and on news sites, but can also be used for e-commerce sites by funneling traffic to your products via adverts within the articles that you write. To the right here, we can see a whole bunch of related keywords. So there's 142 keywords that are related to our target keyword, dry herb vaporizer. We'll also be able to investigate these in a second and also potentially add them to our position tracking as we will do the keyword variations. So scrolling to the bottom, we can see the SERP results. For those who don't know, SERP stands for Search Engine Results Page. So the order of websites you see here is the order of websites you would see on the first page of Google if you typed in the analyzed keyword. We can also go to the second page of Google by clicking the 11 to 20 tab and so on, all the way through to the top 10 pages. So this is essentially page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to page 9. Now we know what everything means on this page, we can continue with our keyword research by going over to the keyword magic tool. You may have noticed that the number of keywords and the number of total volume, which is the global volume, 2,700 and 9,400, correlate with the numbers that we found in the keyword variations, 2,700 and 9,400. In other words, clicking this button down here is another way of taking you to the keyword magic tool for the keyword dry herb vaporizer. So if we click on this button down here, you can see it's just simply taking you to the keyword magic tool. Once you get to this page, there are a number of different ways you could carry out your keyword research. I would personally start off by sorting by the largest volume. As you can see, mine's already sorted by volume. If yours isn't, yours might be sorted by one of these other tabs up here, then just simply click that until you see the highest number descending. You can then go through this list and begin selecting relevant keywords which have a high volume and a low keyword difficulty. If you're not sure whether or not keywords are relevant, then you should open them up by clicking the magnifying glass under the search results tab, which is over here, and checking the results which show up. This word says Aerostech 5G dry herb vaporizer. Would we want to rank for this keyword? No, this is the name of another product. If we start trying to rank for this keyword and we're not selling this product, all of the traffic coming to our website from this keyword is going to notice that we're not selling this product and they're going to simply leave our site. And that's going to affect us in multiple ways. We haven't only just wasted a whole bunch of money trying to rank for a keyword that isn't actually beneficial to us, but it's also going to reduce our time on page, which is a fundamental factor in Google Analytics. And it's also going to increase our bounce rate, all of which will be detrimental to our SEO. Once I've managed to go through the list and select my target keywords, I'm going to add them to a new keyword list and then upload that keyword list to the project we created earlier on. You'll then be able to go into the position tracking to check your ranking on Google. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Best dry herb vaporizer. Now all of these seem to be keywords that I want to rank for. As we said, Aerostech 5G is certainly not one, because we're going to end up spending a lot of money trying to rank for something that isn't going to be any benefit to us. Now we need to use some critical thinking. Dry herb vaporizer health risks. If we click on these two buttons here, it brings up some more data to help you decide on whether you want to be ranking for this keyword. Look at the search results. If you're getting competitors that are selling what you're trying to sell, or providing a service which is similar to your own and they're ranking here, then that's an indication that that is potentially a good keyword, because that will show you that people are typing in that key phrase and then clicking on these websites. If we do click on these, we can see that that's just a blog, right? We can keep working through that list. That's also a blog. So this is showing you that the top 3 search results here are blogs. So that goes to show that there's no one selling our products with that keyword. So we'll skip that one. Dry herb vaporizers. I know that's another competitor, so I won't click that. Best vaporizer 2022 dry herb. That's a decent one. So earlier on in the video, I said, let's try and stick to keywords which have a volume over 200 and a keyword difficulty of less than 30. However, I'm going to use some common sense here. And if a keyword is bringing in a volume of 50 and it has a keyword difficulty of nothing, then I'm definitely going to add that in, right? Because that's going to be a very, very simple keyword to try to rank for. So I'm not going to completely focus my content on this keyword, but I might just drop it in once or twice in a 2,000 word article. I wouldn't bother trying to rank for anything less than 50, as you'll end up spending time and money and it's probably not going to bring in any benefit. I'm also going to go through this list and just remove any keywords which I think are ridiculously hard to rank for. So for example, I can see the keyword dry herb vaporizer has 4,400 searches a month and a keyword difficulty of 38. If you run through this and compare this with all the rest of the keywords that are highlighted now, do they have a decent enough volume and a low enough keyword difficulty to prioritize them over this dry herb vaporizer keyword? Best dry herb vaporizer UK, that's not bad. I mean, that's almost a fifth of the volume and it's a fair bit easier, right? It's green. So that will tell us that we won't even need to build backlinks for this. We can just add that keyword into our content. So lower down here, you've got best dry herb vaporizer 2021. Now that's quite difficult to rank for, but it's nowhere near the volume of dry herb vaporizer. So I might decide to not spend any money on that and get rid of that. Another thing I want to highlight here is the trend, which you can also use to make a judgment on which keywords to rank for. So scrolling down this list, you could see, if I keep going down, here we go. That's a consistently increasing trend. And we've got best dry herb vaporizer under 50 UK. Now, if we're selling a vaporizer under 50 quid, or at least thereabouts, then I would select that. So what we want to do is add these 4 keywords into a new keyword list by clicking the button up here and creating a list name. So I've added those 4 keywords to the keyword list, but that doesn't mean that we've completely finished our job, because we've found 5 keywords here which might not be the best keywords to rank for. So we're going to carry on doing our keyword research by going back to the keyword overview tool and then selecting the related keywords button down here. So we're completely confident that we've gone through these 2,700 keywords. Of course, a lot of them were under 50 volume, so they're useless anyway. So that has been exhausted, and now we're going to jump over to our related keywords over here. So if we look at the next 142 keywords, this gives us a whole new range of keywords. Keyword variations, as the name suggests, is when variations of a keyword are used in order to extend the reach of a particular keyword. Now we've completely exhausted our keyword variations and we're ready to move over to our related keywords. Related keywords are synonyms or semantically related terms to the main keywords that you're targeting and trying to rank for on the SERPs. So now we're ready to explore the related keywords. Let's click this button down here, which will again take us to the keyword magic tool. When using Semrush, you'll notice there's more than one way to get to a particular section. You may have noticed that our keyword variations was the exact same page we were on now, except that the broad match option was selected. And now for related keywords, the same tool with the related tab here selected. So when doing your keyword research, you want to type in a keyword up here and then essentially go through all of these tabs up here to completely exhaust all of your options for that particular target keyword. Now this is where it gets interesting, because when we're searching for dry herb vaporizer in broad match, phrase match or exact match, you're going to have the word dry herb vaporizer in there. Now imagine there's a completely different way or keyword to get to your product. You're not going to know what it is unless you go to related keywords. Now we've got herb vaporizer here. We have weed vaporizer. These are all new different types of keywords. Now what we're going to do is go through the list exactly how we did before by sorting this by volume and then going through and deciding which keywords we want to add to our keyword list. So weed vaporizer is essentially the same product, so I'm going to select that. THC vape pen. I don't know what results the keyword THC vape pen will show up. It could be a bunch of articles for THC vapes. They might be pre-filled cartridge products, which are completely different to the type of products Next Medical Vapes are currently selling, or both. So what I'm going to do again here is click on this search button and have a look at the SERP results. I'll open up the top 3 or 4 SERP results and then just simply analyze them. So we can see here, this is a shopping page, which is a good thing for us, but we can see that these are actually pre-filled pens here, which we don't sell. So that's not a good sign. If we keep going through, the next page is a page which is again an e-commerce page, which is good. And these products are very similar to what we're trying to sell. So if these guys are ranking second, this means customers going to this page and buying similar products to which we're trying to sell. And this is an article. Now this is actually a very difficult decision to make, and there's a whole bunch of different things you can take into consideration, one of which being the related percentage that Semrush gives you. It is also commercial, so it means that users want to investigate brands and not necessarily read up about us. I would personally add this onto our list. It's got quite high volume and also not a terrible keyword difficulty. Weed vape, also way better than dry herb vaporizer in terms of volume, but quite a bit more difficult. I'm going to add it in anyway. Vape and weed, that's way too difficult for us to compete with, and it also has a related percentage of 5. Vaporizer is a good one. So once we go through all of these lists, you want to add them to your keyword list, and then you want to cover all corners by copying some of these keywords which don't have dry herb vaporizer within them and adding them to your search bar. So I'm going to start off by typing in weed vaporizer into the search bar and then go into keyword overview. So here we've got the keyword variations and the related keywords. We can see that this is quite a decent keyword to try and go for. It's got a massive volume, double that of dry herb vaporizer, although it's quite difficult. So now Semrush suggests that we build 56 referring domains. Now when you're thinking about building your SEO campaign, we can see it like this. We've got weed vaporizer, which is very high in volume, twice as much as dry herb vaporizer, and needs domains to be built. I would focus on this page to build backlinks on, and I would use dry herb vaporizer throughout the content to cover both keywords without spending too much money. You would then go through all of the variations of weed vaporizer, then go back to all of the related keywords, and then I would repeat the process with similar keywords. Now keep going through this related keywords and try and find as many keywords as possible to add into your keyword list by sorting by volume and checking the keyword difficulty and deciding which keyword to rank for. So in a nutshell, your keyword research should involve you starting off with any keyword which you know will be popular, then going through the keyword variations and the related keywords for that particular keyword. Once you finish your keyword variations, start your related keyword search. And then once you finish your related keyword search, pick another popular keyword which is within that related keyword search. So from vaporizer, for instance, I'll go to dry herb vaporizer. From dry herb vaporizer, I'll go to dry herb vape. From dry herb vape, I'll go to herb vaporizer. What you're essentially doing is searching every single nook, crevice, and cranny, and you're not letting any of these keywords get away. You're going to end up building a massive and very relevant keywords list, which you will then be able to start using in your SEO campaigns. Now let's take a look at the last tool under the keyword research section, organic traffic insights. The first thing you'll see is a list of your projects and a button which says set up. Pressing that button will allow you to sign into your Google account and connect your Google Analytics and Google Search Console account in order to present the Google derived data within the same dashboard. Once you press set up, you can see it asks you to connect your Google account, and that's the Google account that you've set up with your Google Analytics. If you haven't set up Google Analytics, then honestly, don't worry about it. Semrush is more than capable of presenting very accurate data, but doing so will give you slightly more accurate data and it will let you compare the two together. So once you sign into your Google account, it automatically pulls everything through with some simple drop-down options, and it allows you to pick the account, the property, and the view which you've set up in Google Analytics. These are all coming from Google Analytics, by the way. And then you can press location and device. Now you can see it asks you for a location. I'm going to go United Kingdom. And you can also see that it asks you for a device. So desktop, mobile, or tablet. I recommend doing all three by clicking all, as once you're in the dashboard, it allows you to segment the data anyway. One of the things that's great about this tool is that it massively simplifies data on a URL level. To get this sort of data in Google Search Console, you'll need to press a few different buttons and go through different options, as opposed to just clicking Organic Traffic Insights and seeing all the data presented in one dashboard. On this page, you'll be able to see different data sets and keywords for various URLs from your website. For example, this is one of the blog sites on Next to Medical Vapes, How Much Does Weed Cost UK? But since this website is one which is an e-commerce page trying to push its products, I'm not as interested in the blogs as I am the product pages, category pages, and the home page. The difference between these two numbers is that the Google Search Console data shows you all the results, whereas Semrush only shows you the ones they think are popular. So you should expect the Google Search Console numbers to be higher than the Semrush numbers. You can see the data is automatically sorted by the percentage of sessions, which essentially shows you your most popular page. And if we filter the data by desktop, then we can see that the data significantly drops. Now, since mobile devices currently make up for 65% of all online traffic, which is close enough to the data presented here, I wouldn't worry about it much in this case. But if your results are the opposite and your mobile traffic significantly drops, then you might want to ask yourself whether you're mobile friendly, and if not, then start optimizing your website for mobile users, which you can do by seeking Google Search Console advice or running usability tests through someone skilled in UX design, which you can quite easily find on various freelance websites such as Fiverr and Upwork, both of which I'll add a link in the video's description for. If you don't have a massive budget for this, then you might just choose to optimize your most popular pages or the ones which generate revenue but maybe aren't performing particularly well on a certain type of device. If we click on the number of keywords from Google Search Console for a particular URL, in this case, this dry herb vaporizer product category, you can see how it's performing with regards to its position rankings, number of clicks, impressions, and click-through rate. And then you can start doing different types of filtering using these filters up here. Before we do any of that, I'm just going to increase our time scale to around 2 months. Unless you've done any recent updates to your website or to this particular URL, then 7 days won't necessarily be giving you accurate enough data. Now we can start doing different types of filtering. For example, for this particular page, if I want to look at the results which are ranking between position 1 and 10, in other words, this shows you all the keywords which your page is ranking on the first page of Google. This is helpful because if you have a particular low click-through rate on a keyword ranking on first page, then this tells you improvements need to be made to your metadata to make them more catchy and increase that click-through rate. If you're not sure what to update your metadata to, then you can quite easily copy one of these keywords into Google and have a look at what your competition is doing. So searching dry herb vaporizer on Google, we can see that the top 2 or 3 positions are optimized for sales. We can see they're advertising free shipping, lowest prices, next day delivery. You've got a 10% off coupon voucher over here. Whereas our client's meta description is all about what a dry herb vaporizer is. Now this tells me that we need to update this to optimize it for sales. Think about it, if a customer's already typing in dry herb vaporizer, then they obviously know what the product is and hence they want to now buy the product, right? There's no need to waste the space to tell them exactly what a dry herb vaporizer is again. So I would advise Nectar Medical Vapes here to update this meta description and optimize it for sales. This, I think, actually is pretty good. It has this call to action here, buy, and it's also got some good information on shipping, same day shipping. So that's more than enough to bring in a customer. So I would leave that title and update this meta description. Another very useful application of this tool is to identify your best opportunities, your low-hanging fruit keywords. In other words, any well-performing keywords which are easy to bump up onto the first page of results. Since the vast majority of searches on Google are done only using the first page results, if you can manage to bump up a keyword from the second page results to the first page results, then you should expect around a 200 to 300% increase in traffic for those keywords. The second page results start on position 11. So if we focus on just the top half of those results, which would essentially take less effort to move onto the first page than the second half, simply because they're already closer, then we can successfully identify our best opportunities. So if we use the filter up here to search keywords ranking in position 11 to 14, we'll be able to go through the list and see which keywords would be worth giving some extra attention to. In layman's terms, what we're looking for is relevant keywords with large impressions. Remember, if we can improve our rankings by just a couple of positions, then we can increase that traffic by 200 to 300%. So if I sort this by impressions, then I'd be focusing on the top few keywords here. So I'd be focusing on dry herb vaporizers, dry herb vapes, and herbal vaporizer. Even though this keyword dry herb has a similar amount of impressions as herbal vaporizer, I'd ignore this keyword because it's not that relevant. Just because someone is searching for dry herb, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want a vaporizer. And the same goes for dry herb vaping. If I was looking for a vaporizer, I wouldn't necessarily be typing in dry herb vaping. That sounds like someone wants to read about it, not necessarily purchase a product. And going back to our previous use of this tool, we can see here that we've got a 0% click-through rate on this keyword. So I'll type that into Google and have a look at our metadata again. So now we have our low-hanging fruit keywords. What do we do? And since we already know the URL that these keywords are ranking for, which was our dry herb vaporizer category page, I would now edit the content on that page to include any of these keywords if they're not already there. And then I would also build some backlinks using these keywords as a topic of the blog post. These keywords weren't too hard to choose from, but if you're having any difficulty with your decision making, then you should also use the keyword overview tool to see the keyword difficulty of any of these keywords that you want to boost up onto the first page. For example, if you have a keyword with 10,000 searches a month in position 12, but has a keyword difficulty of 80% and a keyword with half that traffic of 5,000 searches a month and is in position 14 with a keyword difficulty of 20%, I would personally go for the one with a low keyword difficulty, as you'll have a higher chance of getting it onto page 1. For the sake of this task, let me just show you what I mean. So if we want to check the keyword difficulty of these 3 keywords which we're choosing from, I'll go to the overview tool and type all the keywords in. So here we can see that the keyword dry herb vapes has just under double the traffic volume that the other 2 keywords do. And it's also one of the easiest ones to rank for. So that's one of the ones that I would really push. As a heads up, if these results for your position 11 to 14 keywords are relatively low, and you see a keyword with significantly higher traffic in position, say 15 to 20, then you might decide to focus on one of those keywords instead. For example, herb vaporizer. If we check how much traffic this keyword brings in and compare it to the other keywords we have, we can now make a decision. So this keyword brings in 1,000 traffic volume a month, and the keyword difficulty isn't that much higher than the other 3 we were comparing with. So if I was going to only pick one keyword here, herb vaporizer would be the one. Another really important thing to note here is if you see any desirable keywords which aren't included in your position tracking list, then you can simply select the relevant keywords and click on the button Send to Position Tracking to add them to your position tracking list. Then if we go down to our position tracking tool, we should be able to see that they've been added onto our dry herb vaporizer category. We had 1 keyword before, and now we have the extra 3 we've just added, so we've got 4 in total there. To summarize, you can use the Organic Traffic Insights tool in 2 ways. The first being by looking at the click-through rate of pages and identifying pages whose metadata needs to be improved. And the second being to identify opportunities where you can easily increase traffic for particular keywords by up to 300% by giving them a little extra attention and getting them bumped up onto the first page results. So now we've covered all of the tools within the keyword research section on Semrush. We should now be able to at least identify the keywords we want to rank for and which pages we want to rank them on. We can also track our keyword positions over the course of time and analyze how our SEO work pays off. Of course, this is just a start, and unless all of your keywords have a difficulty of 0%, then you're not going to rank on the first page without carrying out competitor analysis and link building. So subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to be notified when their full videos are out.